day, viewers. The Colonel speaking to you live from the Preceptory for British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. And what have I got to show you today? The machine on the left? No, it's the machine on the right. But the machine on the left doesn't belong to me. I've just restored it. Well, cleaned it. I have done no touching in or anything like that. And that's what I found underneath the disgusting nicotine and horrible dirt that came off in bucket loads. Disgusting, stinking bucket loads of it. But it's well preserved underneath, so that's going back to its owner, the Squire. He'll be very pleased with that. Found him a handle, and it works really well. Look at those panels. Came up a treat. The ones on the side are good too. You can see that. You can't see that anyway. But yeah, came up a treat. Very pleased with that. It's amazing. Might give that a play a bit later. But it's this machine I want to talk to you about. What is this? I hear you cry. It's very elegant. It is very elegant. It's a Bassanophone. Patent dates for 1908, 1909. There for the Tonearm. Magnificent quality thing. As some viewers will know, I own half of one of these. Someone had chopped the legs off, and this is a heavy machine. So what my carpenter has finally agreed to do, I found a chap who can do this. I've got some legs that are identical, and he's going to make a very heavily built table underneath, using, cutting off this section of the cabinet and fitting the legs to it and building a thick tabletop to it. This is heavy and it will rest on that, so I'll have two of these. Now why would I want two of these? It's unbelievably, no, most of you who know gramophones will know that small companies are very peculiar in the UK. I've got two of these, as I say, 1.5 really, and they're different. You wouldn't believe it, but it's true. This one does not have a door at the back, the other one does. Everything else is more or less the same. Got a metal horn, which is unusual for that date. I think I'm the first to say that predates HMV by about 20 years. I know HMV have cast iron, curving brackets at the back, but this is all metal. We'll see why in a moment. And then we've got this peculiar Tonearm, where the sound apparently comes from the front and the back of the sound box. Most peculiar. Looks like something out of a spaceship, doesn't it? Maybe it's... In fact, yes, it's the Starship Enterprise. Mr. Bassano invented that. There it is. Unbelievable. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Well, I'm going to have some of these tones, because this is all just comes out like that. Now, I met a chap who's a retired engineer. We're not having a romance yet, viewers. But he's really good, and he's going to cast me some of these fittings, so they're identical both sides. It's just that this has a slot cut in for the stylus bar, and a couple of 3 screws on that side, and 2 screws to hold the body onto the back of the sound box there, and that's it. And this fitting here, he's going to make 10 of them for me. I'm going to have one that will have an adapter for EMG use, and what I'm going to do is he's going to make up some modern EMG bodies. They're going to be made of aluminium, so there'll be no mistaking them for originals, viewers, as this is made of aluminium. And he's going to we're going to put metal diaphragms in, see if that affects the tone. And we're really going to have a bit of fun with that. But that's one part of the Bassanophone which is unusual. The back is the back part of the fitting. Now, I was criticised for buying a load of old junk in buying my half Bassanophone for 22 quid. But of course it had lots of spare fittings. This is missing a needle holder. Again, very peculiar, almost engineered. And that's the clue. The chap who made these, or invented the various parts, was Mr. Bassano. He was not a gramophone maker. I don't think his factory made these cabinets. I think these were made by some big firm of cabinet makers. Not Jennings and Bettridge. They made papier-mâché. I forget who I'm thinking of. They were in the Tottenham Court Road as well. They were big furniture makers up north. I can't remember their name, never mind. And then you've got this very peculiar back bracket and Tonearm and auto brake. I'll demonstrate that to you in a moment, because if I put you down a second, have a look at my records. These machines, I think, were aimed at people with an engineering or technical background, because it's unique in that you're allowed to see the motor. That is not a fixed panel. And there is the motor. It is a monster. It's an Apollo number 13 motor. They were retailed by Craze and Stavridi and they were fairly expensive in their day. Now, to operate the auto brake, which is really quite simple, it's just a strap mounted there, which just operates a felt pad on the governors. But to do that simple operation, they've gone to a heck of a lot of technical wizardry. Now, if I set it up, this isn't working properly, I hasten to add. It has been mucked about with. The one on the other Bassanophone, again, an excellent reason for me having it is the fact that I can see how it works. And this is how it works. This thing here is the adjustments. It's got a sort of cam on it, so you can adjust the point at which the needle reaches the last groove, and therefore switches it off. So we'll set it there, and that pushes on that plate, as you can see, and stops the motor. All that mucking about just to do that. But that's what I mean. The bloke was a technical, I think he was an electrical engineer. And as you see, one of the differences with the other Bassanophone is this one does not have a back door. It's never had a back door. The other one does. The other one also has ivorine plates there, which this obviously never has. And this has got a brass plate there, which looks slightly later. I think the company were going till about 1914. They couldn't have made many of these. They haven't turned up. And as you see, this monstrous motor is suspended above the horn on massive iron straps, which fit onto huge mahogany columns bolted into the side of the cabinet, almost as an afterthought, which is why I think the factory was just there to really assemble these things. Can't see the horn from here. Don't think you can anyway. No. Well, actually, if I get my pocket torch and oh, that's right. There we go. I don't think you can actually see the horn. No. Let's see if we can get that in there. No. It's just too dark. There we go. You can see a little bit of the back curve of the horn there underneath. Anyway, an interesting machine and unusual. So if we put that back in there, we put the turntable back on, I'll play a record, which is what these things are supposed to do. We'll play several records actually. We'll play one of the period, I think, and that is, and hopefully we can set it so it switches on the auto brake. We'll play Zonophone 599, Home Boys Home by Jude, or Jude by the look of it, sung by Mr. Peter Dawson. So let's have a, yeah, it's wound up. Right, we'll switch that back on. Ah, yes, we'll set it actually. Let's see if we can set it. I know this isn't going to work. Oh, it hasn't got a needle in. That doesn't help, does it? Can't think of everything, can we? Right, let's put a needle in. Talk amongst yourselves. And so I was demonstrating the sound box and didn't want to cut my hand. There we are. The sound box is very flexible on that pivot, so it looks heavy, but it is in fact very thin cast aluminium with an eye. Oh, that was genius, wasn't it? I didn't screw the thing up properly. Right, that's better. That's why they keep falling out. Now then, let's have a see. That's it. So that's the point. Right. We've set the auto brake, and let's see if it will work.
courage brave and true. They'll fight with the boys that their daddies used to do. They'll fight with the boys that their daddies used to do. Singing home, boys, home, and it's home we ought to be. Home, boys, home in the old country, where the oak and the axe and the blooming willow tree, they all grow green in the old country. None but the camp where the boys are here tonight. None but the song of the pictures in the pipe. Once more they glimpse the pond, so love is far away. Oh Lord, is the song to the break of day. Oh Lord, is their song to the break of day. Singing home, boys, home, and it's home we ought to be. Home, boys, home in the old country, where the oak and the axe and the blooming willow tree, they all grow green in the old country.
Now let's see. Oh dear, not quite set properly. Oh well, nearly there. That was good, wasn't it? In fact, Basanophones are advertised as being good for playing the human voice. Right. Let's try another record. Let's try something a little bit later. I'm going to bring a watermelon to my girl tonight, sung by the Savoy Havana Band. Now we'll set the auto brake again. Right, that should work now. We're going to run out groove. I will put some more steam into this one. Now this record was designed, as I say, 1908, 1909, so this is a later record, so it may not play quite as well.
them here and there. When I brought a wire, she hung it on the shelf. Tonight I'm gonna bring a rope and let her hang herself.
Oh no, it's not done it again. Ah, there we go. Slight bit of resistance there. Oh well, let's try another record. There's the Bassanophone catalogue, which I have here. Yes. Let's try Columbia 3880, I Dreamt I Dwelt in Marble Halls, from the Bohemian Girl by Bell, sung by Doris Vane. I don't know her, but if I play Caruso records, the video will get banned temporarily. Whilst I and my legal team, not men in sheds, as some have said, I haven't forgotten that one. We'll have to challenge it, and that takes time. We always win, but it just takes time. Right, let's try this one. And also brake's not working again, is it? As I say, it's been mucked about with slightly. Not by me, unusually. There we go. Right, well that's rather fun. Put those records to one side. Yes, I've got the Bassanophone catalogue here, which is interesting in its own way. There's various models, Spanish, and this one's called an Electrola. Now you may think that it's oh, there you go. There's this model there. It was £30, inlaid Sheraton mahogany number 3. And in introducing to your notice the Electrophone, it is claimed that this instrument is entirely new departure in disc talking machines, patent number 1908, fitted with a friction disc which drives a 12-inch turntable, thus doing away with all cogwheels and reducing to a minimum any chance of a breakdown. The accumulator contained in the machine will run 600 records with one charging, and can be recharged by any electrician for a cost of £1 to 1 6. The artistic effect of a good record is often spoilt by the motor continuing to run after the finish of the record. Attached to the Electrophone is the patent brake which stops the motor immediately the record is finished. Well, as we've seen, they did several models. They're all more or less the same sort of design, really. Yes, rather grand machine. They did tabletops and things, yeah. But there you go, Derby, that's where they were based. Right, well, we've had a look at the catalogue, we've had a look at that one. Let's have a look at this one. As I say, it doesn't belong to me, it belongs to Squire. The Vox machine still needs a lot of work on the inside, but at least the motor works. Let's find an appropriate record for it. What's this one? Oh, we've heard that one. Let's find a dance bandy record. I should really have a Vox record, but I don't. Let's find one. Oh, that's not it. There is one. Oh, that's a Columbia record. Oh, Kansas City Kitty. That would be a good one, won't it? Right, this one hasn't got an auto brake at all, mainly because on Vox machines they're a damn nuisance and they fall to bits very, very easily. Right, we'll play a bit of this. It's having to use a screwdriver under the turntable.
I left Bristol Gate, swinging on the Golden Gate, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me. Now I left Ma and Pa, holding on the ha-ha-ha, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me. She comes from Missouri and she showed me, like a Texas steer she buffaloed me. Every Jim and Jack got the well-known hack and sack, when Kansas City Kitty smiled at me.
there you go, viewers. That was jolly good, wasn't it? Yes, no auto brake sadly, so we'll have to stick the screwdriver under the turntable again. Yes, we do. Now, you may think that this being a Vox will play on all four sides. So did the Squire when he bought it. So did I when he delivered it for restoration. But we turn it around on its casters, and what do we find, viewers? We do not find the usual. There we go, that's what we find. A saxophone shaped horn made of wood. Absolutely astonishing. So all this fretwork in the side is completely useless. So I don't know whether they sort of initially built these cabinets as playing all, you know, all the way round. Stereo, well, whatever it is, quadraphonic sound or what have you. And then converted them to those wooden horns. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they've always been like that. Record cabinet underneath, fairly primitive. Very nice pale wood interiors. But there you go. Didn't intend doing a video on the Vox. It was supposed to be the Bassanophone, but there we are. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Wooden Tonearm, of course. All this is wood. That's not metal. That's all wood. And Vox sound box there, which I have rebuilt. The motor is pretty gigantic, but it has pot metal governors, which are a bit of a worry, and they had fractures in them. So I used the only solution available for that sort of thing, which is to soak them in super glue. And they are perfect again. There we are. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. The Bassanophone is jolly good, isn't it? And we'll hear more from the Vox in another video. Thank you, viewers, and goodbye.